I'm Everett Huffard, and I've had the pleasure of serving as Vice President and Dean here for 15 years, as well as direct the Doctor of Ministry program, and I've actually been teaching here for 31 years. I had two stints of time here on campus. First, as a student, Eileen and I moved here the week after we got married, and I did the master's with the thesis as well as the MTH degree. We moved to Israel, and then I went on to do my doctorate at Fuller. When we moved back here in 1987, after I finished my doctorate, I wasn't sure I wanted to come back here. I never wanted to teach here. I never really wanted to teach full-time. I was more committed to missions and ministry because I felt like that's where real life is, in the trenches and in the churches. But the more I looked into the opportunities for training others for ministry and encouraging and equipping them, I have never regretted the decision to come here. Even though it wasn't the course I dreamed of, I tell students over and over again that the Spirit will take you where you don't want to go when you don't want to go there if you are in fact led by the Spirit. And I believe the Spirit led us to be here to work with the school and to be here at Harding School of Theology. When I look at the last at least 3 decades and the impact I think it's had, the school has had, there are 2-3 things that I would highlight that have meant the most to me. One is the kind of students that we attract here. I think we get students who take their faith and their discipleship very serious. They want to serve God. They're humble enough to know they need more than what they have or that they could just get on their own. And to see them graduate at a level different than when they came in is incredibly rewarding, just to watch that growth. On the other end of it, since I travel all over the world and the country, I've been able to see the results of those graduates as they've gone into churches and into missions and ministry. And the thing I hear the most is, people will say in these churches, they are the best Bible teachers they've ever had there. Or they have had the best mission approach or philosophy of anyone that has come to that country. I think we've been blessed to be able to equip servants in the kingdom to serve. The mission of the school does line up with the mission of the church. And yet there's one way I see that it probably even helps it. As I've been doing consulting with churches, the problem nearly every church has is defining its mission. It's just understanding why it's there. And I think as our graduates go out and serve churches, they really do challenge churches to be what God called them to be and understand why God has them there. Because it's so easy for a church to just go into a survival mode or a self-serving mode. And I don't think that's why Christ died for the church. He died for it so it too can die for others and have a ministry. But to do that, to have that mission and ministry to its community in the world, it doesn't just happen by accident. It requires people who are fully equipped to lead a church to do that. When I look into the future, I hope the next 60 years will be as rewarding as the last 60 years. Those 60 years have been built on some godly men with great vision for the kingdom. W.B. West and George Benson, as well as people who are love and committed to the word like Jack Lewis was. And as we look into the future, I just know that the scriptures tells us that we put our trust in the Lord and in the Spirit. And as long as we continue to trust in the Spirit and the Word of God, I believe we'll continue to be able to produce the kind of young men and women who can make a difference in the kingdom. And I would add, it's not just young men and women that we've been blessed to have here as well. I think the other thing I would mention that's quite rewarding is to see people who have been in ministry for a long time and they come here to retool, and it just gives a whole new lease on life in their ministry and has encouraged them as well as give them a whole new network of servants in the kingdom. This is a good place to be. Happy anniversary, Harding School of Theology.